like soul food. Parked up outside in the old school. The new me back with the OU. The dog always find his way back home, and it's so true. Later on, fall through and pop one.
Chapter 157 of One Piece is finally out, and Oda did not hold back this week. This chapter was one of those where you just finish reading, sit back, and go, what the hell did I just witness? Because the amount of history, lore, and character moments stuffed into this thing is unreal. And listen, this chapter might actually change how we look at not just the Rock's pirates, but also Elbaf, the Marines, and even the world government's dirty little secrets. So yeah, we've got quite a lot to talk about. But before we dive in though, you know the drill. If you enjoy deep dives like this, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss when I break down the next chapter. Because trust me, the way things are heading, every single week from now on is gonna be absolute chaos. But that's enough rambling on, let's get right into it. So first things first, Oda blesses us with a cover story again, and it's Yamato, this time shown in front of what looks like a shrine, praying alongside others. But here's the crazy detail, this shrine, it looks like it's dedicated to a swordsman figure who resembles Zoro. Now a lot of people are already speculating this could be connected to Zoro's family lineage in Wano, that or maybe even Yoshimaru. Now personally, I don't think Oda would just throw Yamato on this cover without meaning something deeper. This honestly just screams setup. And if you know anything about Oda's track record, these cover stories always pay off big later. I honestly think we're heading towards some kind of closure for Yamato's character in relation to Wano's samurai legacy, but we'll table that and jump into the actual meat of the chapter. The chapter kicks off with the Rock's pirates being, well, the Rock's pirates. They are literally robbing a temple and stealing donations meant for orphans. But here's the funny twist. Big Mom and the others justify it, saying if the donations were really for the kids, why haven't you turned it in yet? That is crazy. And this is something that I love about them. This crew is chaotic, selfish, and morally twisted, but Oda still makes them funny. And yo, Shaki is easily the comedy MVP of this chapter. Forget all that other stuff for a minute. We catch him just casually bombing people he forgot about and then laughing it off because, hey, more loot for him, right? It's just pure dysfunction, and that's exactly why this crew was terrifying. You can't trust anyone, not even your so-called allies. Now, here's the detail that stood out. Whitebeard, still young, mentoring Kaido like a younger brother. Kaido openly admits he envies Whitebeard's strength in devil fruit, and Whitebeard warns him to choose wisely because a fruit defines you forever. This entire interaction is literally laying the groundwork for Kaido's obsession with power and his whole beast identity. Then Oda hits us with this. 16 raids, 76 ships sunk, 14 ports destroyed, 1 nation wiped off the map. This wasn't a pirate crew. This was basically a terrorist organization on the sea. And the way the narrator phrases it, this was the era of Rocks, not Roger, not Whitebeard, not even the so-called Great Pirate era, no. When Rocks was around, he defined the seas. And here's the thing, the world erased him from history, right? Which means we don't know his actual bounty. But after this chapter, I'm calling it. There's no way Rocks didn't have the single highest bounty in history. Maybe even higher than Roger's. I mean, it just makes too much sense. You don't burn entire nations to the ground and walk away with just a low tier bounty. The world government definitely covered that up. Now here's where things get really interesting. King Herald is introduced, and man, I love this dude already. He's huge, emotional, reckless, but his sense of honor is insane. He literally risks everything to protect a smaller nation despite knowing the world government will blacklist him for it. But let's not miss the important setup here. Herald is being pulled between 3 sides. The world government, Rocks, and his own people. The government wants Elbaf to join, but only under their terms. Rocks is trying to seduce him into piracy, and Herald himself wants Elbaf to have dignity and independence. Now this here is political tension 101, and I guarantee you it's going to connect directly to the modern day Elbaf arc with Luffy. We cut over to Navy HQ, and this was actually one of my favorite parts. A young Garp, a young Sengoku, and even Kong in his prime. plus Zoro, who I'm now 99% sure has some Wano connection because of her name. They're debating Elbaf joining the world government, and the dialogue here is crazy. Now Garp, he's all for bringing Elbaf in. Sengoku is cautious, but Zoro is suspicious of Rock's recruiting Herald. And Kong just treats it like it's a nightmare. And honestly, it shows why Garp is who he is. He doesn't care about politics, he cares about raw strength and justice. If the giants contribute in helping the people, then he wants them in. Meanwhile, Sengoku and Zoro are already playing the chess game. This scene is Oda fleshing out the Navy's ideology decades before Marineford. And then Oda hits us with the curveball. Shaki, you know this one, Rayleigh's partner? Yeah, she quits the Kuja Pirates. And where does she go? To Pirate Island, where she instantly becomes the center of attention. This whole sequence was gold. I mean, you've got pirates swooning, Whitebeard simping, even Rocks himself being thrown off balance by her presence. Shaki is kinda like Boa Hancock times 10, except instead of pure beauty, she knows how to weaponize charm. And that's the key difference Oda highlights here between her and Boa. Also, shout out to Gloriosa clowning Big Mom. Like, it's honestly funny to me how she just calls her out for popping out kids like popcorn. Another interesting detail is that the narrator frames Shaki as a treasure, which makes me think she's not just the comic relief here. This could tie into the treasure stolen from the world government in God Valley. And by that, I mean maybe she was that treasure. And then finally, that's where we get to the big reveal. The world government will let Elbaf join, but only if the giants kill Rocks. Now that is insane, because it shows just how terrified they really were of Rocks. And to be real, they didn't even technically want to fight him directly. They wanted to outsource it. And we all know where this is heading. God Valley, the Clash of Rocks, the Marines and Garp, Roger, and now potentially Herald and Elbaf too. This is Oda putting all the chess pieces in place. So yeah, this chapter was pretty packed, as you can see. We got politics, lore, marine flashbacks, and a setup for God Valley that's looking like it'll be one of the biggest flashbacks in the series. I want to hear your thoughts though. Do you guys think Shaki is actually the treasure from God Valley? And how do you think Herald's choice is going to impact the Elbaf arc? But for now, that's my breakdown of chapter 157. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in whatever I make next. Peace.